Sometimes angels wear overalls and smell like engine oil. But when one man met a quiet black schoolgirl in a dusty garage, he thought he was just getting a tune-up. What he got instead was a reality check money couldn't buy. Before you judge someone by their coveralls, their race, or their silence, ask yourself this. What if that person is the answer to a prayer you haven't said yet? Stick around. This story will challenge your pride, melt your heart, and might just change the way you see strangers forever. If you believe in unseen heroes, hit that like button. And if you've ever been underestimated, subscribe, because this one's for you. Tyson Bell was the kind of man who made headlines, but not for anything humble. Multi-millionaire, ex-motorsport investor, and now the flashy owner of one of the most exclusive Mustang restoration garages in Michigan. He wore Rolexes to oil-stained meetings, and his idea of getting his hands dirty was tapping buttons on his custom espresso machine. On a humid Thursday afternoon, Tyson roared into a quiet suburban neighborhood in a metallic blue 1969 Shelby GT500. The engine coughed halfway down the street and gave out entirely in front of a modest red brick home with a cracked driveway. "Seriously?" he muttered, tapping the wheel. "I dropped 30 grand on this rebuild, and it dies in a school zone." He stepped out more annoyed than stranded, phone in hand, ready to call a tow truck, until he heard metal clinking nearby. At the far end of the driveway, crouched beside a beat-up Dodge, was a young black girl in a school uniform, wiping her greasy hands on her skirt. Her box braids were tied back messily, and she had engine oil on her cheek. "Yo, little lady," Tyson called. "Know any mechanics around here?" She glanced up without smiling. "Depends. You mean real ones or overpriced ones?" He raised a brow. "You saying you're a mechanic?" She stood, brushing off her hands. "I'm saying I can tell your Shelby's not breathing right. Something's off in the fuel mix. You flood it." Tyson blinked. No one, not even his own staff, talked to him that directly, especially not some 17-year-old girl in a wrinkled blazer and high-top sneakers. "You touch these engines often?" She shrugged. "Only since I was 9. My granddad owns a scrapyard behind the school." Tyson looked back at the Mustang. Against his usual instincts, he handed her the keys. "Fix it, then. But if you scratch her—" "I don't scratch. I solve," she muttered, already popping the hood. Her name was Aaliyah Brooks. Smart, quiet, and unapologetically blunt. She didn't care who Tyson was or how much money he flashed around. In her world, engines didn't care if you were rich or poor. They just responded to precision. Tyson found himself watching her instead of his phone. She moved with confidence, not arrogance, but clarity, like someone who had solved harder puzzles in this car or this world. "So where'd you learn this stuff?" he asked. "My dad taught me before he passed. Then Granddad took over. He fixes bodies. I fix hearts, at least the kind with pistons." Tyson chuckled. "That's a quote." "I read a lot." She reached in, adjusted something deep inside the engine, then paused to wipe her forehead. That's when Tyson noticed something that made his stomach flip. A gold ring. Simple, small, but not on her right hand. It was on her left ring finger. "Wait," he said slowly. Are you married?" She glanced at her hand, then nodded, but not how he expected. Aaliyah looked up, expression unreadable. "My dad gave me this a week before he died. Told me no boy should ever put a ring on this hand, unless he met the standard of the man who gave it first." Tyson swallowed hard. "That's powerful." She gave a small nod. "It reminds me that I'm already spoken for by a legacy, not a lover." He didn't say anything at first. Just looked at this kid, this brilliant, scrappy, engine-whispering genius, and realized she wasn't trying to impress him. She wasn't trying to get a job. She was just helping. Out of habit, out of honor, out of something he'd forgotten long ago. 10 minutes later, the Mustang purred to life. "Should be good now," she said. "Just ease up on the pedal when she's cold. She doesn't like being rushed." Tyson opened his wallet, pulled out $500. Aaliyah raised a brow. "Keep it. You fixed my car." "I didn't do it for money. I did it because that engine was crying." He hesitated. then said, "You want a job?" She shook her head. "Not from you. Not unless you're ready to be taught." 2. Tyson froze, then smiled. For the first time that day, genuinely. Resolution/moral. A week later, Tyson returned. But not in the Shelby. He came with his head engineer and a proposal in hand. Not a job offer. A scholarship. A mentorship. A partnership. He offered to sponsor Aaliyah's dream, to build her own all-girls performance garage for young mechanics from underrepresented communities. She didn't say yes immediately, but when she did, she asked one thing first. "You ready to get your hands dirty, Mr. Bell?" And for once, Tyson Bell, millionaire, investor, image-obsessed gearhead, rolled up his sleeves and said, "Teach me." Some people wear wealth on their wrist. Others wear legacy on their fingers. Aaliyah didn't just fix a Mustang that day. She rewired a man's pride. She reminded us all that brilliance doesn't always come with credentials. Sometimes it shows up in sneakers, oil stains, and a borrowed wrench. What's a legacy someone gave you that no one else sees? Drop in the comments. Let's honor them together. Like if this story moved you. Subscribe if you believe in hidden talents and second chances. Share this with someone who needs a reminder. You are already enough.